16th century India was a landscape defined by deep, unyielding fractures. Society was divided not just by tense religious friction between Hindus and Muslims, but by the ironclad architecture of the caste system. This hierarchy dictated the exact physical mechanics of daily life. Your birth tier determined what you ate and who cooked it. Sharing a meal with a lower caste meant profound spiritual pollution, permanently ruining your social standing. In this historical context, the simple necessity of eating functioned as a daily, highly public weapon. It was designed to constantly reinforce inequality and ensure lower castes remained isolated and humiliated. Born in 1469, a young man named Guru Nanak watched these divisions play out across the busy streets of his youth. He didn't stay confined to his local village. Nanak spent over 2 decades walking roughly 28,000 kilometers across Asia and the Middle East, studying alongside diverse cultures, scholars, and faiths. Returning from these travels, Nanak offered a thought that challenged the very foundation of his society. There is neither Hindu nor Muslim. To him, the lines drawn between religions and ranks were entirely imaginary. But preaching equality to a deeply segregated world rarely works on its own. To actually dismantle the caste system, Nanak realized he needed a physical mechanism to force society to practice that equality out loud. In Kartarpur, Nanak built a community where equality was treated as an engineering problem. This was a place where people from all backgrounds lived and worked as a single functional unit. To make it work, the citizens of Kartarpur followed 3 core pillars. The first was Nan-dropna, the daily practice of focusing the mind on a singular, formless divine that belonged equally to everyone. The second pillar was Kiratkarna, or honest labor. By mandating that every single resident work for their livelihood, the community effectively eliminated the concept of a parasitic ruling elite that lived off the sweat of others. The third pillar was Van Chako. The wealth and food generated by that honest labor wasn't hoarded, it was pooled into a central hub and shared across the entire community to ensure no one went without. This operational code rewired the local culture. It shifted religion away from passive worship and into a system of disciplined worldliness, where spiritual devotion required direct civic action. To physically enforce this culture of sharing, Nanak created an ingenious institution known as the langar, or community kitchen. The langar had very strict physical mechanics. To participate in the community, every person, regardless of their background, had to sit in a pangat, a single row, lowering themselves to the dirt floor in order to eat the exact same meal. Imagine the intense friction this caused in the 16th century. Wealthy, high-caste merchants were forced to sit in the dust, sharing a simple lentil stew shoulder to shoulder with impoverished laborers they were previously forbidden to even touch. In a society where high-caste individuals spent their lives avoiding the shadow of a laborer, being forced to sit at the same level created an undeniable friction. By stripping away the chairs, the silks, and the distance, Nanak removed every visual cue of rank. Nanak took the very tool used to enforce segregation, food taboos, and turned it into a requirement for belonging. He made the communal meal the price of entry into the community. Over the following decades, Nanak's successors formally institutionalized the langar. They embedded the community kitchen so deeply into the Sikh faith that it survived long after Nanak's death. The ultimate test of this system arrived when the mighty Mughal Emperor Akbar traveled to visit the 3rd Sikh guru. Akbar was the most powerful man in India, but he was denied an audience until he submitted to the rules of the kitchen. He had to kneel in the dust and eat with the commoners before he could proceed. The langar established a new standard for human interaction that even the crown could not ignore. It transformed an act of feeding into a statement of sovereignty over religious and political rank. Fast forward 500 years, and that localized experiment has scaled into the largest community kitchen network in the world. Today, the langar operates on a massive scale. At the Golden Temple in Amritsar, volunteers serve over 100,000 free meals every single day to anyone who walks through the doors. And that ethos extends far beyond temple walls. Modern Sikh volunteers can be found cooking meals and maintaining the grounds around the globe, providing langar during natural disasters and refugee crises. Sitting down to eat at a langar today remains a quiet, resolute protest against the prejudices and divisions that still haunt our modern society. Guru Nanak's legacy suggests that true social change requires more than new ideas. It requires the physical act of sitting down and breaking bread together.